The town of Devgiri sits high in the Uttarakhand mountains, snow-dusted, cedar-wrapped, and ancient in ways that have nothing to do with architecture. The kind of town where everybody knows everything, where old ways run deeper than the mountain rivers, and where the night of Sharad Purnima means something entirely different to certain people than it does to everyone else. Dhara Kasturi arrived here 3 weeks ago with 2 suitcases, a culinary degree from Pune, and the kind of stubborn hope that only grows in people who have lost everything once and survived it. She lost her parents at 5. A road accident on the Pune-Mumbai expressway, one monsoon evening. Her grandmother, her nani, raised her after that. One small, fierce, sari-clad woman who woke before dawn to make fresh food, who sold her gold bangles to send Dhara to culinary school, who sat in the front row on graduation day crying in that dignified way of hers that she would never admit to. And then Nani was gone too. When Dhara closed her grandmother's flat, packing the prayer corner, the steel containers labeled in careful handwriting, the kitchen that smelled like every good memory she had ever made. She knew she could not stay in that city anymore. Every street corner held a ghost. So she searched. And one sleepless night she found it. A sweet shop in a secluded Himalayan hill town. 3 generations of history. A wood-fired kitchen. Walls painted in warm pink. And a listing that somehow felt less like a business opportunity and more like a door left open specifically for her. She bought it. She named it, kept the old name, actually. Kasturi Mithai Palace. She was not going anywhere. The only problem, apart from the locals treating her like she had arrived uninvited to a wedding she was not invited to, was him. Professor Bhargav Bharatraj. He was the previous owner's family. The one who had listed the shop for sale. Too busy with his research, his ancient Sanskrit manuscripts, his centuries of Hindu philosophy to run a sweet shop, perfectly understandable. What was considerably less understandable was why, having sold it, he now appeared in it every single morning without fail. He would fold himself into the corner chair, all of him, which was a considerable amount of him, broad-shouldered and immense and unervingly still, open whatever ancient text he was currently studying, and simply exist there for 2 hours. Drinking her tea. Eating her sweets. Saying almost nothing to her directly beyond the minimum required to place an order. And then standing outside afterward, looking in through the glass with those dark, unreadable eyes, like a man conducting a silent argument with himself that he was not winning. Every person who passed on the lane, spotted him, and quietly went elsewhere. The man was her best customer and her biggest problem, wrapped in one extraordinarily aggravating, bookish, infuriatingly attractive package. She had noticed, bitterly, that he could speak perfectly well to everyone else. To Mishka. Her only employee, who had taken this job as an act of quiet rebellion and spent most of her time sniffing Dhara in ways she refused to explain and making festival sweets that were shaped in ways that could not, under any circumstances, be displayed to the public. And now he was here every morning. Saying nothing to her. Keeping customers away simply by existing in her doorway. And somewhere deep in the Devgiri mountains, the night of Sharad Purnima, the sacred harvest full moon, was drawing closer. The night the old temple scriptures called the Shakti Ratri. The night of power. The night when, according to texts that Professor Bhargav Bharatraj had spent his entire academic career studying, translating, and teaching to students who only half understood them, the shapeshifters of these ancient valleys could no longer fight the pull toward their fated, destined souls. The bitter irony of this was not lost on him. He had read every word ever written about it. He had simply never imagined it would arrive wearing a curly-haired, saffron-scented woman who was furious at him and had every right to be, carrying her grandmother's recipes into his family's kitchen and making it smell like something worth coming home to. The moon was almost full. And Bhargav Bharatraj was running out of pages to hide behind. Just this morning Mishka had produced a tray of cookies she insisted were sacred oil lamps, a tray of dumplings that told customers to eat me in bold icing, and a tray of cupcakes topped with what she described, with complete sincerity, as incense sticks. They certainly looked nothing like incense sticks. Dhara had arranged them on the top shelf where technically they were present but practically invisible, and she had said nothing, because Mishka was the only person in Devgiri who had applied for the job. And because when Mishka laughed, which she did freely and often, the whole stone kitchen filled with it, and Dhara had not laughed like that in longer than she could remember. They will come. Mishka had said that morning, stealing a piece of saffron sweet from the tray with zero shame. Sharad Purnima is almost here. Nobody in Devgiri can resist sweets during Purnima. Then, after a carefully weighted pause, they will come after Professor Bharatraj stops scaring people away.